Hey Denchbags, what's going on? It's Landon Remixes here, and today we'll be talking about the third studio album from the Oklahoma City-based producer LoneMoon. This one's called Where Is Luna? Now, something really cool about LoneMoon is, if you guys don't remember, early last March or April, I rated his debut studio album, Amaranth, and I did give it a solid 9. I kind of regret that at this point because I feel like I should have given it a more fair yet lower rating. But this one, as a more mature music critic, I think I'll be able to give you guys some good insight about this album that I've been hyped for months on end. Since Amaranth, he's released his Photographs EP as well as the second studio album, New Moon, which I actually wasn't a big fan of, so much so that I decided not to review it. It was a solid record, but I don't think it was good enough to a point where I could have given some solid critiquing on it, whereas this album, I think, steps into a much more artistic direction. Like I said, I've been pretty excited for this one for a few months, especially after LoneMoon's absolutely banging remix of Drake's Hotline Bling, which was the first remix of the song that I actually really digged. I think it's still the only one out of the bunch that I really like. Over the past few months, we've seen LoneMoon supported by Mr. Suicide Sheep. He's had a couple really awesome collabs with Chime. If you guys remember when I reviewed Chime's Escapism EP, one of my favorite tracks on that one was the collab Rescue with LoneMoon that he featured vocals on. And while this album doesn't feature any heavy dubstep bangers, that really doesn't matter. Chronicle was really awesome on the Amaranth album, but I wasn't expecting that to come with this album, and this Where Is Luna album, for the most part, went exactly where I wanted it to. And although it might as well have been an EP, because the 3 last tracks on this one, following the 7 originals, are 3 remixes that I don't think provide a lot. I didn't really love any of the remixes on this one, my favorite probably being the really banging bell tone remix of They Said, and the other 2 being fairly disappointing, especially the Doomu remix of I Promise, not changing much from the original to begin with. I'm not going to judge this album based on what the remixers did. I know it was Shem's choice to provide these upcoming artists with a spot on his record, but being his record, I don't think it's right to judge exactly what the remixers did. So for the most part, I'm going to be talking and critiquing on the originals of this one. Flourish is one of the most beautiful tracks I've ever heard him make. It's really tossing from a lot of different directions between melodies and sounds and street sounds. You never really know when the track's going to actually start, but when it does, it's just overwhelming melodies, and it's just so beautiful. Another thing with this album that's a problem is kind of the same thing I had with Amaranth, where he doesn't seem to know where exactly to put the tracks. I think another track order could have suited this album a lot better, because the stops and starts between tracks are very kind of abrupt, and that's definitely where Amaranth went wrong. But regardless, I think the production on this album is the absolute best we've ever heard from Shem. It's very artistic. I wouldn't necessarily say it's future bassy, but it's very, not necessarily experimental electronic, but just extremely melodic, kind of indie electronic music. It's not necessarily EDM sounding, and whereas I thought Amaranth was kind of following a formula where Porter Robinson's Worlds went, I think he took the style that he was building with Amaranth, kind of stepped back from that New Moon sound, and progressed into this style that's his own. He's making it his sound, and it's absolutely beautiful. I Promise with Atura has these awesome vocal chops and just this really powerful drop. They Said was almost one of my least favorites because I do think it's one of the worst appearances LoneMoon has made vocally, but by means of production, and especially toward the end of this track where we just get this gorgeous relaxing piano melody, you can't help but like it, even though I wasn't crazy about the vocals to begin with. All Too Well with Coz is just a very chill track, and I could see myself using this in maybe a Minecraft Let's Play or something. Just very relaxing. This is one of those songs that you'd think could fit much better into another spot, maybe much later in the album, but that's just my opinion. No Mask with Ironic is, I think, LoneMoon's first rap collaboration in the history of his production. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't crazy about the rap on this one, but by means of production, I think he did a fantastic job. Forever is one of the most fantastic tracks on this record, really showing these beautiful melodies that Shem is very close to for the majority of this track. A solid minute and a half is dedicated to just these kind of building melodies leading up to this very powerful futuristic drop. The Girl with the Starry Eyes does make a really nice closer, although, like I said, the remixes follow that, which kind of ruins the feel. But at the same time, that doesn't take away from the beauty of this track, which kind of underlies the Where Is Luna album. This one's really solid, just a beautiful piano melody traveling through the entire thing, leading up with these vocal samples and ambient electronic music sounds. I think this one's one of the best on the record, even though it's a very kind of slow letdown track. It definitely wasn't a letdown for me. Anyway, you guys are definitely going to have to check out this guy if you haven't yet. I really love LoneMoon, and he's definitely going to go places very soon. This is his third album in 1 year. His debut released in February, his second release later in 2015, and his third is right here in January of 2016, which is absolutely fantastic. You couldn't expect much more from an artist who works so fast as him, and he does it absolutely beautifully. So, like I said, there are some flaws with this one, such as the remixes and the track order, but other than that, I think this is the best LoneMoon has ever put out. By means of production, you can see how he's progressed from his debut album and has definitely made more of a concept than I've ever seen him do before. So I'm going to give this one a solid 8. Yes, I would have liked to give it higher because I like this one a lot better than Amaranth, which I gave a 9, but I'm trying to be so much more critical than I ever have been before. An 8 is going to mean a lot more than it ever has. I'm going to start rating things that would have had an 8 last year a lot lower. Like I said, I really like this one, and make sure to check out LoneMoon's Bandcamp and support this album. You can listen to it for free on SoundCloud if you like, although you won't be able to hear Flourish because it's not there for whatever reason. You can hear all the remixes as well and decide what you think about that one, which one's your favorite. Let me know what you guys think about the album. If you haven't listened to it, make sure to go and listen to this because you're not going to be disappointed. And give me some suggestions for future album releases or anything that might be coming out very soon. I think I'm going to start doing throwback album reviews this year, which is going to basically mean anything that came out over a year ago, I'm going to start reviewing and talking about, just to kind of make some more space, and that way I can start doing videos about every day. I still don't think I'm going to do video releases on Sundays, at least for now. I might in the near future, but for now I'm going to try to get basically videos out every day, and I might have a few more surprises for you guys. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this little review, and I'll see you later. Peace.